Hi, and thank you for joining us again. We're talking to another mentor in Queer Sphere Mentorship Program, Rife. Rife, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And what is it like being a mentor with Queer Sphere?
Well, basically what it is we get together once every 2 weeks or so, and we sit down in a park and share our stories, what's been going on, and I try to give a little bit of consensual advice and guidance when that's appropriate, and share my experiences as well. It's been a fun journey.
And what are the things that you've learned while being a mentor with Queer Sphere?
One of the coolest things for me has been seeing my story reflected and to learn more about myself by learning about this other person and seeing where we're alike and where we're different. It's been really powerful.
There's a process of matching mentors and mentees up together. Can you tell me what that process looks like?
Sure. Well, we had a meetup where all the mentees and all the mentors got together, and we asked each other a couple questions and did kind of like a speed dating style, and then we marked off like who our top three of, who we'd like to be matched with. And what I liked about it is that there's a little bit of choice and there's a little bit of chance. So who I got matched with is maybe not somebody who I would have ordinarily picked out of a crowd to be buddies with, but I think it's actually been a really great match. And I love being surprised by things like that. So I think it's a really great system.
When you first came into the leather community, was there a mentorship program available for you?
Oh, there was totally nothing like this. I grew up in Houston, Texas, and there is like a queer community and there's a leather community, but there's not a leather queer community. And because it's such a conservative state, there's even the communities that do exist are pretty insular. They happen in people's private spaces. There's not a public shared space for play and for mentorship and for teaching to happen. So I think that's a really great thing that Queer Sphere can offer, is that public shared space, where anybody can come and learn, and it doesn't have to be vetted through other people. There's not this privacy and secrecy about it. It's pretty special.
How did you become a mentor?
Well, we were actually at a backyard barbecue. Christy and Randy were saying, like, yeah, the mentors are shaping up really well. We just need a slave boy, though. I think that would really help our diversity. It's like,
throw that out there.
Yeah, they were just throwing that out there. So I was like, well, sure, I would be curious. I've always been the kind of person who loves giving advice. I used to be a school teacher, so any opportunity to have consensual advice, I'm on board.
And because they did throw it out there, what inspired you to catch it and run with it?
Sure. I just wish that there was something like this when I was a little bit newer in the scene. I made a lot of mistakes, and that's one way to learn, but it doesn't have to be the only way to learn.
As a mentor, you also have a lot of opportunities to learn things from the person you're interacting with. What are some of the things that you've learned?
Oh, I've learned so much from my mentee. She's really great. Some of them are, it's like I get to give myself the advice at the same time. As I hear it come out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, actually, I need to do that too. Or when I'm saying, like, have you thought about journaling about your feelings about this? I'm like, wait a minute, I should be doing that. So it's a good opportunity for my self-growth as well. Sometimes teaching is a great way to learn. I've always found that to be true. It shines the light on places I didn't know things. And then we get to figure it out together.
Why do you think the mentorship program is important?
I think that when you're new to something, and especially something like BDSM or kink, there's a pretty steep learning curve, and you can feel like an outsider with all this new stuff around. And I think the leather community is especially guilty of having this mystery and intrigue around it, which is part of the fun, but we don't do it to exclude people. And mentorship is a way to bring people in and say, hey, we want you to be in on the secret. We want this to be open to you. It is a club, but you're invited, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody who's kind of weird or out there or wacky is welcome. And I think everybody is in some ways a pervert.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And thank you for being a mentor with Queer Sphere and everything that you bring to the community.
Oh, thank you.